I'm here at Soul Dance Center with Karla Choko. She is the founder of Soul Dance Center and a promoter of veganism through dance, which is incredible. I just wanted to ask you, how did you find your way to veganism?
I was born, I guess, really sick with I had sinuses, I couldn't really breathe. The only option back in the day in Mexico is they literally have to cut your face open and clear your underneath of your face out. And my mom was like, she's 5 years old. I don't think that's an option. So then she started doing research until she found holistic health, and they told her if you go vegetarian, she can eat any fish, any seafood, any meat. And then that what saved me basically. And then I skipped the surgery.
That's amazing. I mean, that's proof right there.
She became vegetarian, I was vegetarian, and my sister literally, she was vegetarian all her life. She never ever tried meat, and then she went vegan, so she's the lucky one.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not about to be better than me. I'm gonna go vegan too. And I didn't know as much, I did it first just to oh yeah, I'm gonna step it up. But then I started doing all these research and finding all these videos on YouTube and everything that happens in factory farming, and I was just I can't even look at it the same way ever again. We started a tiny little studio just playing around, and then we got the upstairs of this building and we kept it for 5 years. Then downstairs opened up and we're okay, let's take over the studio. And it's been the craziest roller coaster ride of my life, because I wasn't in my thoughts. Sometimes you say, oh, this is my plan and this is how I'm gonna make it. It kind of came to me okay, you want it? I was like, okay, I'll take it. But I wasn't necessarily, I was prepared in the fact that I've been dancing all my life and that's what I've been doing for a living. But I'm not a business certificate dance studio, that went to college to do this. Life was my college to figure it out. And the goal we're doing downstairs on the lobby section, we want to do a little vegan cafe. So we're gonna have only vegan products, everything vegan, because all the kids are here already. Might as well offer them products that are better for them than just what they give you outside.
And speaking of What the Health, which I just watched, they classify processed meats, which includes a lot of things that we feed our kids, as a type 1 carcinogen.
That's crazy.
And that's along with cigarettes and alcohol and a number of other things that you wouldn't give your kids cigarettes. You wouldn't say, oh, go smoke this pack of cigarettes, but we feed our children this garbage every day. So that's amazing that you have these kids here and you're influencing them, and you're influencing them all around, not just in dance, but in their lifestyle as well.
To me, that's so important, because my favorite type of dance is the dance with a meaning. Anybody can shake to shake, whatever, look beautiful, glitter, whatever, but when you're dancing to say something that matters, that you need to send a message out and make sure people understand what's going on, because we live in a blindfold and we don't know what's going on outside. So that's my favorite type of dance. And the fact that I have all these kids, I'm what better option than to be listen, get informed, you gotta watch this, look at this YouTube video, I'm posting this, animals, you gotta be nice to them. So I'm always thinking of making them a little aware of what's happening.
I love to be free to live my life the way I want.
The Elastic Vegans is the dance company that we created 3 years ago, and it's only vegan dancers. And we always talk, the first year was about factory farming, the second year was about animal testing. This time we're doing the circus animals and any animal in captivity, the zoo, SeaWorld, everything. So it's pretty nice. And we also tell the kids, okay, we're gonna make banners, watch some info about SeaWorld or the zoos, and we need to stop this for the animals because they're suffering. So they get it and they get excited and they're oh yeah, we're protecting them. I'm yes, we are. I'm always telling the story because they ask me, how is most of your staff vegan now? I'm well, my sister started because she was managing the studio, then I went vegan, and everybody started going vegan. Now our staff is 80% vegan.
It started for me for my health. I feel like dairy in the US is so different than dairy in like other countries, especially like in Mexico. You go to like the market and you are with the person that is actually like milking the cow or whatever, so it's like a little bit less processed. Being here and like eating cheese and all dairy stuff, it just made me overweight, super unhealthy. I was having like a bunch of like sort of like issues with my sinuses that I never really had. I left dairy, I dropped 10 pounds, felt so much better, I didn't have any issues anymore. And then I started doing more research. It's actually really good for the environment. You're an animal lover, I'm an animal lover. If you're an animal lover, like, you should do it. And then she started like going like really deep into it.
Don't look at them. 7, your boobs should be facing down. Done. That I can do.
I was not vegan before I met Karla, and she began bombarding me with videos and things, and she's really aggressive, and it really works. It works for her. I had no idea about any of this, and I was like, what is happening? And then my life changed, and I woke up like this, vegan.
Ironically enough, when I first came to this studio, I was eating meat, and then slowly but surely, Karla kept sending me informative videos as I was teaching here. Ever since this year in August, I've eaten vegan.
I became vegan after being introduced to something.
So is Karla.
Yeah.
That kind of pushed you.
Go vegan.
I was actually raised vegetarian when I was young. So my dad and mom own a small organic farm in Maine. They kind of lived off the land sort of thing. So I was definitely very aware of all the ways that, ways you can get protein from other sources. Did a ton of tofu stuff growing up, and everybody was like, ew, why are you eating that? So before it was cool, I was eating tofu. So I was definitely very aware, so the transition was very easy for me. I actually got candida, like an overgrowth of yeast in my stomach, and I got very, very sick and had to go on this crazy, like barely anything diet. And it made it very clear to me that like food sort of poisons you.
Since I came over here, all this like vitamins, nutritions, whatever they have for vegans is just amazing, and yeah, it's just easier. It's easier this way here in America than it was back in Russia.
So you made the decision in Russia to go vegan.
I was a vegetarian there.
What would you say is the most annoying question you get as a vegan?
What do you eat? Like usually, oh my God, like what do you eat? Like you only eat grass or whatever. Like no, it's a lot of food that I eat.
Protein. Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
I mean, we all know this one. Where do you get your protein from? Like, it's just...
I'm like, okay, Google it. I'm not even gonna answer you. I'm just like, do your own research, because I'm not even gonna put up with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Kind of just the stigma of poking fun at, oh, you're a vegan, or oh, you stick your nose up, and do you get enough proteins in your diet? Whenever that's nothing that anyone ever asked me before. I actually am low in iron myself, and that was when I was eating meat, and I didn't eat too much anyways, but I found that I have a lot more energy and been healthier and feel much better, not only morally but physically, ever since making the vegan shift.
I think the most annoying, more than question, is just attitude and way they see things. When they tell me like, oh, but like, why do you care so much? Like, chill. I'm like, our planet, we're sharing, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
It's so annoying, so annoying.
I know, like your meat consumption affects me, because I live here too.
Yeah, it's not fair, it's my house. Move out. Your lease is up. And that's for reals, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Our humanity's lease is up on this planet, yeah, and if we wanna re-sign.
We gotta get those roommates on point. And we cried. You saw it?
Thank you so much for doing what you do and being a part of this movement. It's so important, and it's so important that we stick together.
Vegan power.